Disgraced Prince Andrew, who's regularly voted the least favorite member of the royal family, may be making a move to somehow try to clear his name and withdraw from a legal settlement with his accuser. This as he hints to friends of a mystery development within the next month that will supposedly restore his reputation. This is all connected to Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and the woman who accused Epstein, Maxwell, and Prince Andrew, Virginia Giuffre. Prince Andrew admits he was a friend of Epstein's, the serial sexual abuser of underage girls. Epstein found dead, of course, in New York City jail cell while awaiting trial on the charges. Maxwell was Epstein's former girlfriend. Is also a friend of Prince Andrew's. Now, she is serving a 20-year sentence for helping secure girls for Epstein. Giuffre says she was one of those girls and accused Prince Andrew of raping and abusing her 3 times when she was 17. Last year, Andrew reached a multi-million-dollar settlement with Giuffre. While details were not revealed, Andrew released a statement saying he never intended to malign Miss Giuffre's character, and he accepts that she suffered both as an established victim of abuse and as a result of unfair public attacks. Well, now Prince Andrew reportedly has been talking to attorneys to try to make a legal bid to overturn or throw out that deal. Now, putting aside whether he can do that, the question is, why would he be doing this now? It comes just months after Giuffre dropped a separate sexual abuse claim against attorney Alan Dershowitz, who she had long claimed had also abused her. Giuffre claiming in November she may have made a mistake in accusing Dershowitz of sexually abusing her. This also comes as Maxwell, remember Epstein's former girlfriend, speaking out for the first time from a Florida prison, where she is, of course, serving that time. Maxwell claimed she did not introduce Prince Andrew to Giuffre and now insists the infamous photo showing the 3 of them together in 2001 is a fake. It is this photo that is probably the single most important piece of evidence linking Andrew to Virginia Giuffre.
So I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. There's never been an original. And further, there's no photograph, right? And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I don't believe it happened. And certainly the way as described would have been impossible. I don't have any memory of going to tramp. Certainly not an outfit that I would have worn. Her stories have changed so many times about what happens, when it happens.
And now there's this. A new photo published by the Daily Telegraph, given to them by Ian Maxwell, Ghislaine's brother, who says the mocked-up picture disproves Virginia Giuffre's claim that she was coerced into sexual activity with Prince Andrew in a bathtub. Maxwell claiming it shows conclusively that the bath is too small for any kind of sex frolicking. Giuffre's allegations of sexual abuse by Prince Andrew, by the way, did not include the word frolicking. This also comes just months before the coronation of his brother Charles, serving as King of the UK and will officially become the next monarch in May. So what exactly is going on here? Let's ask investigative journalist Vicky Ward, who has extensively covered the Jeffrey Epstein story and host of the Audible original podcast, Chasing Ghislaine. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. So what is he up to here?
Dan, I mean, it's really, when you're showing the picture of the bathtub, it's quite amazing. I will tell you this, that there is a newspaper war going on in England over this story. And I think it's very interesting that it is playing out in the press. We haven't heard directly from Prince Andrew or from his lawyers, who I've reached out to about this, and there has been radio silence. The Daily Telegraph is the royal family's go-to newspaper. It's their absolute favorite newspaper. So it's interesting that that story about the sort of their allegations that it's impossible that Virginia Giuffre have frolicked with Prince Andrew in the bathtub. It's interesting that it's in the Telegraph. I will say that right after that, the Mail, which is the newspaper that originally published Virginia Giuffre's photograph back in 2011, that was the sort of the photograph that's got everything moving. The subsequent arrest and death of Jeffrey Epstein, the subsequent arrest and indictment of Ghislaine Maxwell, Prince Andrew's civil difficulties. The Mail have come out and shown that they can prove that that photograph is genuine. They've shown that the stamp on the back of it that the photographer has that says it was taken, it was developed in a Walgreens in 2001. So, you know, before we even get into what Prince Andrew may or may not be doing, we don't actually know that any of these reports are true.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.